The embers of youth have long since faded. The unexamined life, once a luxury, is now a slow-acting poison. Most men enter their 30s with a quiet unease, a growing sense that the battlefield has shifted inward. This is not a season of external conquest, but of internal reckoning. The grand illusions of early adulthood crumble, revealing the stark architecture of one's own character. This is the war every man must face after 30. It is a conflict waged not with swords and shields, but with discipline and self-awareness. It is the relentless struggle against the erosion of purpose, the insidious creep of comfort, and the siren song of regret. The external world may offer distractions, but the true enemy lies within. The enemy is inertia. The enemy is the comfortable lie. The enemy is the man you could have been but chose not to become. Consider the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius. He did not lead armies to victories against barbarians every day. His true battles were fought in the quiet hours, against his own impulses, his own fears, his own exhaustion. He chronicled this inner war in his meditations, a testament to the universal struggle for self-mastery. A man's true strength is not measured by the shouts of crowds, but by the silence of his own conquest over himself. This war begins subtly. It is the fading ambition, the missed workouts, the deferred difficult conversations. It is the gradual acceptance of mediocrity as the new normal. It is the quiet despair that settles when a man looks in the mirror and sees not a warrior, but a prisoner of his own habits. The world outside may demand little, but the inner landscape requires constant vigilance. Neglect it, and weeds of vice and weakness will choke the garden of your potential. What is the cost of this neglect? It is the slow hollowing out of the masculine spirit. It is the erosion of respect, both from others and from oneself. It is the realization, often too late, that the foundations of one's life have been built on shifting sand. A man who does not engage in this inner war is adrift, susceptible to every passing tide of emotion and circumstance. He becomes a passenger in his own existence. This is where the disciplined life becomes not a choice, but a necessity. Discipline is the hammer that shatters complacency. It is the shield that deflects the arrows of temptation. It is the compass that guides a man through the fog of uncertainty. It is the foundation upon which the inner citadel is built, a fortress of resilience, purpose, and unwavering resolve. Without it, a man is vulnerable. The Stoics understood this fundamental truth. We control only our reactions, our judgments, our inner world. The external world is a chaotic realm, indifferent to our desires. The inner war is about mastering this internal domain. It is about cultivating virtue in the face of adversity, and reason in the face of emotion. It is about acting with courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom, even when it is difficult. This is why the solitude of reflection is so vital. In the quiet, away from the noise and demands of the external world, a man can confront his own shadow. He can examine his motives, acknowledge his failures, and recommit to his principles. This is not a task for the faint of heart. It requires brutal honesty, a willingness to see oneself without embellishment or excuse. A man must become his own harshest, yet most just, judge. The struggle is real, and it is ongoing. There is no final victory, only a perpetual state of defense and advancement. Each day presents new challenges to the integrity of the inner fortress. The temptation to slip, to rationalize, to surrender, is always present. This is the nature of the war. It demands constant engagement. Yet, within this struggle lies immense power. The power to shape one's destiny, not by external forces, but by internal will. The power to live a life of meaning and purpose, even amidst hardship. The power to become the man one was meant to be. This is the profound promise of the inner war. The promise of true, unshakable strength. The man who embraces this war is not defined by his circumstances, but by his response to them. He is not a victim of fate, but the architect of his own character. His resilience becomes a testament to his will, his integrity, a beacon in the darkness. He builds an inner kingdom that no external force can assail. He learns that true freedom is not the absence of constraints, but the mastery of the self. It is the ability to act in accordance with one's highest principles, regardless of the cost. This is the essence of Stoic discipline and the ultimate prize of the inner war. A life lived from this vantage point is a life of profound substance. He understands that the path ahead will be arduous. It will demand sacrifices. It will test his limits. But it is a path worth walking, for it leads to a man forged in the fires of his own will, unyielding and true. He stands not as a conqueror of empires, but as a master of his own domain. This internal conflict is the furnace where character is tempered. It is the crucible that refines the spirit. A man who wins this war within himself becomes a pillar of strength, a silent force in a chaotic world. His resolve is his empire, his discipline, his crown. He is the emperor of his own soul. So, the embers of youth have indeed faded, but in their place, a new fire is kindled, the steady, inexorable flame of inner mastery. The battlefield has shifted, and the war is now within. This is not a season of external conquest, but of internal reckoning. And it is the defining conflict of a man's life after 30. It is the quiet war that shapes the man, the silent struggle that defines his legacy. The peace he finds is not the absence of conflict, but the strength to wage it and to emerge, day after day, unbroken. He stands, a fortress of will, ready for whatever comes next.